The people of Ghana expected hope from the state of the nation. We expected solutions to our problems. When the president started his speech, he said he wasn't going to lament, but it turned out to be about 2 hours of lamentations, of reminding us what our problems are without really proposing solutions. I think it was another attempt by the president to campaign, even though he has won the election. But the truth is now he has the complete executive power to do as he promised. There are lots of things we expected to hear that we didn't hear. I'm quite happy a few issues of Galamsey came out this morning while we were reviewing the newspapers. I was hoping some more decisive action on that would have been taken, especially with the issue of the MP for our win. Now we are hearing that some of his, I don't know the word to use, his assigns are chopping off hands of Forestry Commission workers. It was part of the news stories you read this morning, and the issue on Obuasi wasn't mentioned. We were told about pockets of doom. So
when you say his assigns, what do you mean?
That's what the story said. If you could,
the story didn't say the assigns of Mahama.
No, assigns of the our win MP. That's what I said. Friend.
He said who somebody believes to be. They don't even know if the headline, I'm looking for it, but
that is very, very interesting, Annie. We can imagine now that the NDC is in power, we are expected to be objective and open about this Galamsey issue, to discuss it how we should have discussed this ending of last year. This is how I wish we would have discussed the issues getting to the end of last year, but it was overly politicized at that time to the gain of the NDC. Now that they are in power, we would have expected them to hit the ground running and then have done a lot more. But it's coming out every day that more and more of their people are involved.
It says, our win MPs alleged associates.
So you want me to bring alleged? Okay.
Anybody that has an agenda can write a story like this.
No, but this is not the first of the stories that we are hearing regarding this matter. There was a time where, again, alleged people sent by him were in the forest reserve doing whatever. This one is not alleged. The chiefs in his area banished him. So this is an ongoing story that we need more information on, especially since His Excellency the President promised that nobody in his government would be involved in mining at all, whether legal or illegal. Again, there was another attempt to almost paint a picture of gloom. And with that, I wasn't surprised, because even when His Excellency President Mahama took over from the late Professor Mills, he did say that the meat was gone and it was left with the bones. So now that he was taking over from another political party, I didn't expect him to actually give the true state of the nation. But the leadership of the NPP will have a press conference tomorrow to tell the people of Ghana the true state in which we left the Ghanaian economy. We left the Ghanaian economy where this government has been able to make some of their DDEP payments. I don't think the manna fell from heaven for them to be able to make that payments. They were able to use existing funds in the system to make those payments. As the Honorable Abner Osayasare said, they are planning on embarking on so many social programs, the Amoakoh Nkete, Mahama Care, all of that costing money. So the picture of gloom he was trying to paint and the expectations and the plans he had do not match. So I think it's very important that all Ghanaians tune in tomorrow so that the NPP, the outgoing government, is able to point the true state of the nation. One thing that is also very important to note is the issue of the Agenda 111 hospitals, because that was also trending all around the place. It was very interesting to me that was the direction that His Excellency decided to take this matter. Last week or so, I was having an interview with one of the radio stations in Kumasi with the GMA president. He was also on the call. And the journalist at that point asked him, are they putting any pressure on the new government with regards to operationalizing the hospitals that were opened? Because those journalists in Kumasi were part of the entourage that followed the ex-president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo when he was commissioning the hospitals. So they are very much aware of all the equipment that are in these hospitals, and that all that is required is staffing. The processes of staffing that was started in earnest by the NPP government, but we lost the election and we had to go out. So obviously, we cannot operationalize those hospitals from opposition. All we will do is to ask President Mahama to, as a matter of urgency, get the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service on their toes to staff those hospitals so that they can start seeing people, just as we did when we came into government and UGMC was built. Because I don't think at that point in 2017, we went to Parliament to say, oh, after $330 million spent on UGMC, it is not operational. So that was another letdown for me personally by the President. It was also another change in stance with regards to this Agenda 111 matter again. For now, during the campaign, after he said he was going to complete them, now he's saying that it was a knee-jerk reaction. Is this President Mahama trying to whistle out of his plans to complete the hospitals? Is he soft launching his plans to abandon those projects? Because that's something that I wish personally we'll stop over politicizing. The idea of making sure every district has a district hospital is one that is major, is ambitious, that should be able to see the light of day. And he did promise that he was going to complete them. So we in the NPP and Ghanaians as a whole will hope that the President will operationalize these hospitals and again stop the lamentations on that call. There was also an attempt to, as I would call it, rebrand some of the things that already existed. I don't know if the people around the President have not brought it to his attention that under the YEA, we already had an apprenticeship program where even people in my constituency were trained and they were given startup capital after the training. That's something that YEA was already doing. So to stand up there and make it seem like we are now starting a national apprenticeship program, again, a little disingenuous. There was an issue about TVET, and looking at the improvements that the NPP government brought into TVET, again, it just looked like another rebranding. On Galamsey, there was an issue about starting an alternative livelihood program, and I'm sure, Annie, you and I have even sat here to banter about all the things that the NPP did to tackle Galamsey, and amongst that was the establishment of an alternative livelihood program. So as I said, not very much hope was given. It was a lot of rebranding of existing programs that had been started by the NPP, a lot of blame shifting, and a lot of bringing the bar so low to set the stage for an almost mediocre performance. I expected a lot more from His Excellency John Mahama. I expected him to give us a lot more hope, but the address didn't go the way I wanted. It was just another political gimmick. So I would leave it there and hope for the best. Again, we wish them all the best with their governance and the continuous committees. We were just having the conversation, and Louisa confirmed that they are having another committee on illegal mining. Very soon, are we going to stakeholder engagement, sorry, on illegal mining to discuss what again? Is it going to be right now? I think it's safe to say it's one day, one committee from the NDC, and
stakeholder engagements are not committees.
It's just another.
It's not a committee.
It's another opportunity to sit around the table and talk over some biscuits. When we had a few stakeholder engagements in the past, that's how our sweet friends in the NDC described it, that we wanted to go and drink tea and biscuits. So why is it that the first 2 months of their government has been just that, a state of the nation that fell flat? The minority was clad in black to basically be in support of the people who have lost their appointments. That's another very serious issue that His Excellency John Mahama did not touch on. The thousands of Ghanaians that have lost their jobs just because there's been a change of government. Under the NHIA, even people that were recruited in October have been asked to go home. So again, we also expected the President to give these people some hope, but we did not see that as well.